All right, let's just jump right in. I want you to picture the Louvre Museum in Paris. You're probably thinking, Fort Knox for art, right? The most secure cultural spot on the entire planet. Now imagine it getting robbed. In broad daylight, with almost military-like precision, and in less time than it takes to brew a pot of coffee. Well, that's exactly what we're talking about today.
This is the number that you really got to remember. 8 minutes. That is literally all it took for a team of incredibly bold thieves to get through those impenetrable walls, steal a priceless piece of French history, and then just vanish into the streets of Paris.
And that really brings us to the biggest question here, doesn't it? How on earth do you manage to rob the world's most secure museum in the middle of a busy morning? Well, the answer is this kind of stunning mix of really, really careful planning and some just unbelievable security screw-ups.
So, let's break this whole thing down, minute by minute. The date is October 19th, 2025. It's a busy morning, tourists are already pouring into the Louvre, and outside, a perfectly timed plan is just starting to kick into gear.
So the way they got in was almost simple, deceptively simple. At 8:30 a.m. sharp, a furniture lift truck, the kind you see all the time, just parks right by the museum's riverside wall. Totally normal. Then, just 2 minutes later, a couple of thieves dressed up like construction workers are going up. And by 8:34, they're standing on a first-floor balcony, slicing right through a glass wall. No alarms, no drama, just like that.
So now they are inside the famous Apollo Gallery, which is home to the French crown jewels. And this is where the clock really starts ticking. They've got exactly 4 minutes to get what they came for and get out.
Inside, it's just pure chaos. You've got tourists, staff, nobody has any idea what is going on. One person who was there said there was complete fear and panic. And these guys weren't quiet about it. They were threatening the guards with power tools, turning this beautiful, quiet gallery into a total scene of terror.
Their efficiency was just stunning. Okay, so first, they intimidate the guards to create some space. Then, smash! The display cases holding the crown jewels are just shattered. They grab exactly what they came for, 9 priceless items, and just like that, they're back out the same way they came in, hopping on scooters that their accomplices had waiting. The entire inside job took just 4 minutes. Unbelievable.
The heist itself was shocking, yeah, but the real gut punch is what was lost. I mean, this wasn't just stealing some expensive stuff. This was like stealing a piece of France's identity, its history.
So, the thieves managed to grab a total of 9 treasures from those shattered cases, a haul with just immense historical value. But moving that fast, well, it comes with a price.
Yeah, in their frantic rush to get out, they actually fumbled. They dropped one of the most important pieces, the 170-year-old diadem of Empress Eugenie. It was a clumsy mistake in what was otherwise a nearly perfect plan, but it just goes to show you how fast they were moving.
So what did they actually get away with? 8 incredible royal treasures. We're talking tiaras, brooches, necklaces that belong to French royalty, like Empress Eugenie and Queen Marie-Amélie. You have to understand, these aren't just jewels. They are a direct, physical link to France's royal history.
But here's where the story gets really weird. The thieves completely ignored the most valuable items in the entire room. The Regent diamond, worth over 50 million euros, they just left it there. This has led investigators to pretty much one conclusion. This was a theft to order. They weren't after the money. They were after these specific historical pieces, probably for some wealthy, anonymous collector. It just opens up this whole window into a shadowy black market where history itself is bought and sold.
So it all leads back to this question, right? How did this even happen? How did a few guys with some power tools and a couple of scooters defeat the security at the world's most famous museum?
Well, the Louvre had this reputation, right? State-of-the-art, impenetrable, but the reality, it was more like a house of cards. The alarm in the exact spot they broke in, yeah, it was broken. And the CCTV coverage, full of blind spots, including, you guessed it, the balcony they used to get in. The list of failures is just catastrophic. That local alarm for the balcony had apparently been broken for days. The cameras didn't cover their entry point, and there were huge gaps inside the gallery itself. So it wasn't just one mistake, it was this perfect storm of failures that made the impossible possible. The museum's director was so embarrassed she even offered to resign, though they didn't accept it. So, with the jewels gone, a massive manhunt began. And as investigators started digging, they found a pretty surprising pattern of vulnerability at this famous institution. Believe it or not, this wasn't the first time the Louvre has been hit, not by a long shot.
Back in 1911, the Mona Lisa was famously stolen. In 1976, King Charles X's sword just vanished, never seen again. This 2025 heist is really just the latest chapter in a long and, frankly, pretty embarrassing history of security breaches there.
Now, the police response to this has been huge. We're talking over 100 investigators on the case, combing through more than 150 DNA samples left at the scene. And all that hard work actually paid off, because it led to 2 arrests.
Yep, just 6 days after the heist, on October 25th, 2 suspects were taken into custody. The arrests were made thanks to a DNA match, and it turns out one of them already has a criminal record for, get this, gold theft. So yeah, the net is definitely closing in. And there was also this amazing moment of heroism in all of this. As the thieves were trying to torch their getaway truck to destroy all the evidence, a really brave museum staff member actually stepped in and stopped them. That one single act preserved the crucial DNA evidence that led the police right to the suspects.
So here we are. 2 suspects are in custody. The investigation is still moving forward, but the stolen items, they haven't been found. And that leaves us with the real nagging question. Will Francis' priceless royal history ever be recovered? Or has it just vanished forever into some private collection, completely lost to the world?